This episode of the Empty Netters podcast is brought to you by LABATT Blue Light. You guys know the deal. When you're trying to enjoy a nice beer, especially a crisp, cold, refreshing beer, while you're watching the game, hanging at the bar, or just kicking back at home, there is no better choice than LABATT Blue Light because each bottle, each can, each pint is brewed with Canadian kindness. And we all know that's the best kindness that exists on this beautiful planet. So it's the playoffs right now. We're all watching hockey every single night, and you know hockey goes great with a delicious glass of beer. So make sure it's a LABATT Blue Light because we want to make sure you have the best time possible.
On this episode of the Empty Netters podcast, the Carolina Hurricanes are still alive, just barely, but still alive.
It turns out that somehow we've all been sleeping on Vancouver, and they actually might be the best team in the West.
Jake Ottinger, my boy Otter, is apparently the star of a TV commercial.
And the Florida Panthers are officially villains, and Sam Bennett has clearly paid off the NHL. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast. Shit is getting spicy as hell in the league right now. You've got a haircut, you've got no voice, but things are cooking, baby.
Playoffs were getting too hot. I needed to get the layers off.
Yeah,
I was sweating through my shirt every game.
You were sweating.
With the mane, so I had to lighten it up.
Can I ask you a question?
No. Next segment.
All right. We're going to move on. No, listen. Is this an age thing where every time I eat poorly or drink too much, I just sweat my pathetic little wee-wee off at night?
The thoughts and prayers to my sheets last night. Thoughts, T's and P's.
Is it an age thing? Because I'm just sweating, dude. Anytime I'm not in my normal routine and I eat a little poorly or I'm, drinking a little too much, I'm sweating.
I think it is an age thing. Yeah. I think so, because I don't recall this. I don't recall this happening.
Yeah, it's brutal. Well, listen, we were just in Arizona.
Eddie Lack.
Absolute beauty.
Go listen to that ep. Literally turn this episode off right now and go listen to the Eddie ep if you haven't already.
But then come back to this.
And then come back and finish this episode.
Eddie Lack, absolute weapon. So cool, so fun. Got so many texts from people in the league, people in the hockey world who are like, dude, you got Eddie. He's the best.
He's the best.
And he absolutely was. We did some amazing stuff, had a great episode with him, got some great content with some of the boys on the former Arizona.
Oh my God.
Coyote. But,
spent a ton of time with Eddie too, just after the pod too. It was amazing.
Yeah, doing some really cool stuff. And then we were able to have some fun in Arizona as well. Huge shout out to Scottsdale and Phoenix.
Dude, I've never been there.
Dude.
What a place.
I'll tell you what, the last couple of years, I have just really fallen in love with places that weren't on my radar.
Yeah.
Arizona, obviously one of them. I had a great time everywhere we went. All the bars, all the restaurants, all the people.
So nice.
Vibes high. Beautiful weather. Great golf. Love it. The other one is Florida.
Yeah, you always talk shit about Florida. Florida's money.
No. I was never talking shit about Florida, but I was a New England guy in that I was like, Florida's the obvious, we're going to go on vacation or, I'm going to go retire. And it was just down in Florida. Yeah. And listen, regardless of my love of Florida, the Florida man thing is very real.
Yeah,
guys aren't just doing bath salts down there. But every time I've been there in the last couple of years, I have the best time, and I will never forgive myself / forgive people in our world for the fact that I missed the Miami Grand Prix.
Yeah, Lando, your boy Lando gets his first win.
Dude,
you're not there.
I'm not there when Lando wins. You got to be shitting me. Spronger was there though.
Oh my God. Oh, dude, of course. And he, dude, Spronger, we got to message him. Imagine being an F1 fan from the Netherlands and deciding to go to a race over the last 3 years. And you pick the literal one that Max doesn't win.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is such a dagger L for Spronger.
Crazy. But good news is I'm sure he's going to be going to plenty more. And I'll tell you what. There's nothing wrong with going to the Miami Grand Prix.
No, I'm sure he had a good time.
It's a blast.
Our boys here, Matt and Brian do the F1 pod.
Yes.
And they
shout out Red Flags.
Yeah, Red Flags pod. If you are an F1 fan listening to this, go check it out. They were on site and crushed that whole time. They churned out so much content, got incredible interviews.
Always
They got a new one coming up with Liam Lawson. First time they've ever had an active driver.
Full episode.
On a full ep.
Sick.
Dude, everybody's been texting us internally he's talking about his race debut and all that shit. My favorite part was his love of the Cars franchise.
Yeah.
Like that is why I'm subscribed.
Shows that he's just a real person.
That is why I'm subscribed.
But yeah, Red Flags, absolutely crushed. If you like F1, check them out immediately. We talked about how spicy things are getting.
Let's do it.
We've got to just dive in. Let's get into No Buckie, our top 5 stories going on in the league right now. At number 5,
CP the Gambler. Now, I got to talk
Not great.
I got to talk to everybody for a second.
Not great.
I think I even mentioned this last ep briefly. Dan and I bet on the Oilers and the under in game 1 of the Oilers-Canucks series. Oilers are up 4-1. It was all going to hit, and then they blew it, and the Canucks won, and it was Canucks money line over 8.5. So then I knew that the Oilers were going to win game 2, and that McDavid was going to score because he was held shotless in the first game, first time in his playoff career. I was telling everybody that, like, yo, hammer this. And I got greedy, obviously, and I put a 5-unit bet, and I'm not unit judging, so whatever your unit is, I'm happy for you. But I put a 5-unit bet, which is not something I do lightly, on Oilers puck line, McDavid anytime goal scorer. McDavid scores, Oilers win, but by 1 in overtime. That is a 5-unit L. So then the next day, I know that the Rags are going to sweep, so I put 2 units on the Rags money line and 2 units on Shesty over 31.5 saves because he's made 50 saves the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Canes money line, Shesty 8.5 or 28.5.
The saves thing was just devastating.
That was free money.
It was a lock.
So there's bang, bang. So then I already had money, 2 more units on Avs money line game 3 because I felt like they came back against Dallas, both Dallas games. When I lose both Rags bets, I bump it up to a 5-unit Avs bet because I got to get it all back.
You're scrambling.
Turn the TV on 4-1 stars.
One of the worst weekends.
I just need people to realize that I will post my Venmo. Donations are extremely welcome at this trying time, but I would actually really appreciate some privacy.
Hold my family together.
Hold my rent together. Hold my electric bill together. Hold my cell phone bill together. We are in a dire situation here.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
I don't know what to do. I don't know. I've realized I don't know anything.
Yeah.
That's what sucks.
You're a fool.
I'm a fool. I'm a desperate fool at the end of his pitiful rope, dude.
It's brutal stuff, man. And I'll tell you what, Gavin, a.k.a. Dr. Locks, is in the shit with us now. Hockey is so hard to bet on.
It's a nightmare.
And I also love when we post bets every now and then. We bet at like 50%, truly. It's
normally.
But we'll have a bad day and then a great day. We did that this week. You particularly,
Horrible.
and personally, you were on a tough stretch. I love it when people come at us in the DMs with like screenshots of their winners and they're like, you ever need winners, let me know, dog. And I'm like this, buddy, no one on earth has ever won all of their, like, everyone stop acting like, oh, you had one good day, you know what's going on. We're all just living in the dark.
You know what I like more, Dan? I go like this. I post, hey, here's the action tonight. Sharp action tonight. Yeah. Rags, money line, Shesty, over 31.5 saves. They both miss.
Yeah.
And I get DMs from people of a screenshot of that, and that says this, 0 for 2. And I'm like this, I know.
Oh, I'm very aware.
Oh, I know.
I'm very aware.
You don't got to tell me I'm 0 for 2, dude.
It's not something that I just missed.
I forgot.
I didn't go, oh, damn, look at that. I missed that one. Out of control. So listen,
never gambling again.
We're going to get back at it.
I do love the board tonight, though.
But, you know, it's a tough game.
It's a tough game.
Number four story, the Cockroaches lost.
They did lose.
They lost a game.
But I'll tell you this. I said the other day I want to see the Rangers go down, and they down by a goal in game 3 and won. Mm-hmm. But I said I kind of wanted to see them in a hole. They were in a hole in game 4. Yep. And they went down 2-0. They were down 3-1, and they lost the game, like you said. But to me, that game, I take more out of that game than I have in a lot of games the Rags have played this playoff. Bad opponent in round 1, maybe. That, to me, was the Cockroaches in their finest form. And obviously, if they'd found a way to win it, it would have been peak pure Cockroaches.
Yeah, sure.
But, like, down a bunch of goals, in a game when the Carolina Hurricanes, it's win or lose your head coach and go home and never speak to me again about you being a contender.
Yeah.
That was what was on the line for Carolina. and they're up 3-1 in the third in their own building. Mm-hmm. Or I guess 3-2 probably. I think Rags scored in the second. But they were down 3-1 in the second. My point is, up 2 goals in your own building with all that on the line. And to have the Rags come back and tie that, I was like, they are the cockroaches, dude. Like, they cannot be killed.
Yeah, and it was on such a, and no disrespect to him, it was just on such a gross, greasy goal from Laffy. Like, just a terrible play that somehow banked in the net. But that's them. Like, that's this team. They are finding ways to hurt their opponent and win and tie games up and come back. So it was a great battle from the Canes. I really appreciate what you just said about Rod, because I said months ago, to you and Johnny Laz, if the Hurricanes get swept out of the playoffs again this year, do you have conversations of Rod being fired? And everyone was like, you're absolutely out of your mind. Like, he's going to get the biggest coaching contract of all time. He's a club legend. He's this and he's that. And I'm like, dude, you just can't get repeatedly swept out of the playoffs and be like this, well, I'm a legend here, so I get to keep my job forever. And there's just so many questions about, what's the problem with this Hurricanes team? And Hurricanes fans, I love you. I'm a little over it's not, fans are starting to do it's not really a sweep. Yeah. We're losing close games.
I've been running my mouth about that too. Like, they're kind of been better. They're controlling the play. Yeah. Ridiculous.
We lost in overtime. We're losing by 1 goal. It's a sweep, guys.
You're losing hockey games in a row. You're losing consecutive games until you are asked to go home.
I don't care if you lose by 10 or 1. You've lost. The only thing that matters in life and in hockey is the scoreboard, and you are losing all of these games.
Yours currently reads fucked. Dude, call your boy Dom Toretto and ask if it matters if you win by an inch or a mile. What do you think he'll tell you?
No, it does not.
Winning's winning, bitch.
Winning is winning. And I love that they got this win. I really do. But I think it's always a tough task when you are in an elimination game. It's a tough task to win because the other team, especially this Rangers team, wants to beat you as bad as you want to not lose. Unfortunately, I think the Canes are in another situation where they have to win this game, because if you go out with a whimper and going, well, we didn't get swept.
4, you mean? Or do you mean game 5? You're saying, when you said they're in another situation where they have to win, do you mean another as in game 5? Or
yes.
Okay.
I don't mean the series. Yep. I mean this next game.
Yep.
You can't lose in 5. If you want to be taken seriously,
embarrassing.
If you want to get rid of this stigma that you are just another team that can't perform in the playoffs, which unfortunately to this point you are, you can't lose game 5. You got to win that one too. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious. I'm curious to see what this looks like, because, we said it last year. Our boy Merle's just said it recently. It's like this team does really have the vibe of they elevate all season long, and then when the playoffs show up, other teams elevate and they don't. They're they're like, well, this is how we play.
We had. Maybe that's the Rod energy, dude. Maybe he's too get the boys going at all times. He's running the mile and he doesn't save anything for that last 100 yards. Maybe Rod needs to chill in the regular season.
Maybe. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is that these guys are flaccid in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And congratulations, you beat the Islanders. You're now in the second round and you're getting punked. Mm-hmm. You're getting your pants pulled down and your little bare bottom spanked till it's bright red.
Bad baby.
So figure it out. Otherwise, something big needs to change.
Yep. Tough time to give up a power play goal for the first time all this series for the Rags, but you knew they were going to get one.
Yep.
Shesty has his 30 game with 3 goals or less playoff streak broken.
Yeah.
Because he finally gives up 4, but I got news for you. He's about to start a new one. So
yeah, it's for real.
Look out, cook out.
You got to start Freddie, I think, in game 5 too.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask you that. I think so. And I think you probably start Freddie in game 3. And I don't think Piota was the reason they lost.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that was.
I didn't hate that move.
But
It felt a little desperate. I was like,
yeah, that was my only fear, because if you lose that one, now you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah, no, I stand by what I said. I didn't hate it. I'm not like that was you're a down 0-3 because of that. You're down 0-3 because you guys are flaccid.
Yep.
You've got no spunk. You've got no gumption.
Need a little bit more blood flow, boys.
So that's that. Speaking of bad power plays, the Avs, power play 0 for 6 in their last 2 games.
Yeah, our number 3 news topic, Avs power play gone cold, gone ice cold.
Yep.
They went at 37.5% in the first round. I think they had the 5th best power play in the league. I should know. I was reading all those power play stats in our predictions. And then they had those 2. They had 2 power play goals, brought them back into game 1. 0 for 6 in the last 2 games. The reason I think this was so interesting is, and I have a couple quotes, but DeBoer said that they saw something in game 1 with the Avs power play. He says, I'm not going to say what my adjustments are, but we made them. And we got huge commitment to blocking shots, blah, 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 but we made some adjustments. And then Bednar makes a comment, and he goes, yeah, in game 2, it already looked like they'd made some adjustments. So now it's up to us to make adjustments and get around it. That's the way it goes. Game 1, they find something, it works, or it works now, we got to readjust. And then Ross, I can't remember if I wrote these down, but Ross had a couple comments where he was like, damn, it looked different in game 2. So I just think this is another cool example of playoffs in general, but certainly Dallas this year, changing on the fly. We chirped them so hard for going to the Vegas series. Hey, morons, you got clapped by Vegas. You're going to run the same shit at them again. You just lost 2 games at home. You're swept out of the playoffs. Good day. And then they made some big adjustments in Vegas, get through that series. Making some big adjustments against the Avs, have a 2-1 lead. Really cool to see this Dallas team just fucking moving and shaking on the fly.
Yeah, I think Bednar is one of the best coaches in the league. I love this team. We're getting into a little you're in your own head situation. You got to get Val back on the first line. Very much feels like if it ain't broke, don't fix it situation. And we talked about Val, dude. He knows his role.
Yeah, he sure does.
So get him right back into that situation. I think you're getting Drouin back in the mix here. You just got to go back to your identity. Let Nate Dogg's boys do work.
Yep.
Don't overthink it. That said, Dallas is a problem, dude.
Yeah, dude.
They're very good.
I felt like I knew it, and I felt like a lot of my boys, shout out Lackey, I'm in a million fucking bracket challenges, you know. You play 20 of them, you got to win one of them.
Yeah.
But Dallas was my most consistent cup-winning pick. Maybe Florida was, but Dallas, I had a feeling about them. We had even made a comment, Dan. You rarely find the moment in time when you have the senior leadership playing great, the young studs playing great, the goalie that you have, the defenseman that you have. This doesn't happen very often. If you don't win the cup this year and you're Dallas, and it's hard to win the cup, but if you don't win the cup this year and you're Dallas, you go, that was a window. And I'm not saying your window's closed. I'm saying that was that year. Should have had that one.
Dude.
So it's cool to see them reaching that potential.
It is. Joey Tipdrill is quiet right now.
Yep.
Incredibly quiet. I've got little birdies chirping in my ear that Pavelski is injured right now. Mm-hmm. And I hope that that's true because I really don't want to live in the space where we're seeing the fall off happen. Mm-hmm. They had a great season, first in the Central. And now Joe is maybe showing his age. I don't want that world. They had a great series against Vegas, and now here they are against Colorado, and they've slowed down. He's slowed down. I don't want to live in that world. So I'm here to say, talking about what you just mentioned, if Pavelski gets going all of a sudden, how are they not winning the cup, dude? Like the depth that they have, Otter is him.
I just wanted to talk to you about Otter. Yeah,
Otter is him, and then all of a sudden, if Pavelski gets going, what is stopping that team,
dude? So this is his. We gave Otter a hard time about his playoffs last year. 2 years ago, he had that epic 7-gamer, and the boys, Dutchie, our good buddy, friend of the pod, has been calling Otter Duncan because of that. I don't even know what that commercial is. Do you know? I've seen it 800 million times. I can't believe I don't know what it is, but. I think it's an insurance one.
I was about to humiliate you and say it's a Dunkin' Donuts commercial.
No, it's like...
But it's not.
Getting this insurance is as easy as having a walrus in net.
Probably Geico then, right? That sounds like a Geico vibe.
And then it's a walrus. he's taking up the complete goal. People are
Geico. Walrus goal.
Yeah. So he takes it the complete goal. Everyone's shooting. They can't score. And then at the end of the commercial, the coach throws a fish from the bench. And the walrus catches it in his mouth, and the coach is like, "Good job, Duncan." So Otter has been Dutchie's been calling Otter Duncan, and now all the boys in the Stars are calling him Duncan because he's playing so well. Quick tangent on that commercial, whatever idea. I'm like, okay, that's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But dude, the one clip when they go, it's as easy as having a walrus in goal, and you see a dude shoot it, and it just hits the walrus. That the opposing player goes, "It's a walrus!" Like he's so mad. I was like, this is now the best commercial I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He's a walrus.
Do you think he's screaming he's a walrus making a point like,
Oh my God.
he's a walrus, we can't score on him? Or do you think he's going like it's
illegal.
He's screaming to the refs. He's being like,
Yeah.
that's a walrus in net.
illegal, dude.
This is not allowed.
It's illegal. It's illegal. Listen to the save percentage. First, I'm going to start at first game of the playoffs. 7-3-3 against Vegas when they got lit up. Not
Yep.
good. 920, 941, 941, 926, 966, 957, 846 in the game one loss, 903, 966. That's the boy you wanted in net, dude. If you're the Stars.
Yeah.
That's the boy right there.
Yeah.
That's Duncan.
We've been saying Otter needed to show up, and he showed up at the Met Gala
That's Duncan.
with his walrus tusks.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Ready to play. It's been unbelievable. So we'll see what the Avs do to make adjustments, and we'll see if the Stars stay buzzing. Moving on to number 2.
And before you even say it, the next 2 news topics are specifics about the Canucks Oilers game last night. If you're interested, we're going to really dive into the Canucks Oilers in some hot ice.
Yeah.
So when you hear this, don't think, how are we not talking about the major things? They come in. Hit me with number 2.
These are specifics. Number 2, story of the episode. We'd like to give some respect to the Vancouver Canucks.
And specifically, Elias Lindholm.
Elias Lindholm, big trade that happened, got sent from Calgary to Vancouver, did not have his best game in that latter part of the season, that stretch where he's playing for Vancouver. Now, we're in the playoffs. He is here. Huge goals in that game.
Dude, he's been pumping in goals in the playoffs. Not pumping in, but he's scoring a good amount of goals in the playoffs, which I love.
He's
to
a
see.
key contributor.
Key contributor.
Especially when you think about how few goals they have scored.
Yes, Dan. Great point, Dan. God, great, dude.
I'm buzzing.
Sick.
I'm fucking on fire, dude.
He scored a goal in this game, man. Like, if you watched it, the Canucks got outshot 1 billion to 18 and whatever, and it was like long stretches. The Oilers hit 1 million posts. The Canucks go up, and when it's 3-1, the Oilers make it 3-2, and then Lindholm scores to make it 4-2. I believe was the order of the operation there. Massive goal, right? Because the
Huge.
Oilers are like, oh, we're gonna tie this bitch up.
Yep.
We're good.
Huge.
Dude.
It was so sexy.
I say this all the time. I'm sorry to the radio listeners. He steps on that puck on his right foot. He's not kicking it.
Nope.
He
Very
is
intentionally.
stepping on that puck. And anyone that has played hockey and skis knows that it's like it's when you cross your tips and ski, and you're like, how am I stuck like this? Like when you were on that puck, it's so slippery. He somehow keeps his balance fully on his left foot, going like he's on the outside edge of his left foot as he's like leaning on the puck slide. But then he knows he has to kick it up to himself to try to score. And then while he kicks the puck with his right foot, swings his weight around to the outside edge of his left foot into like a one-footed stop, and then backhands it into the goal.
Oh, yeah.
It was some of the most insane body control while standing on a puck I've ever seen, and it happened in a phone booth in 0.2 milliseconds.
It was unbelievable.
Blink and you'll miss it. But I promise you, go watch the slow motion replay of that play and watch his fucking the weight shift on his left foot.
He was curling out there, dude.
Dude.
He was curling. He put his skate on that puck and then slid the puck to his stick.
And then rocks.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. It was such a sick goal. I can't believe it. And I keep saying I don't get what the fuck is going on in the NHL right now with the shot
discrepancy.
with the shot discrepancy between teams. It seems like every game.
Yeah. Or
it's
just
like
the low totals in general.
Boston, Florida. It was like fucking 42-18. Yeah. And like this one also, I don't know what it was, but I think Vancouver had like 15 to 18 shots.
I'm pretty sure the shots were 45 to 18.
Yeah, it was 18 again.
Yeah.
I don't get how this is happening, but we're seeing some games, this one in particular, where teams are going, we're picking our spots and we're going to win.
Yep.
We're going to do what we need to do. We're going to take the minimal opportunities we're getting, but we're going to make the most of them, and we're going to win, and we're going to fight, and we're going to hang on. So, I mean, this Vancouver team, I feel like the goalies went down, and people thought, oh, they're young, they're not ready for the playoffs, and now they're losing their all-star goalie. What are they going to do? Then DeSmith goes down. What are they going to do? And now here they are. They're up 2-1 against the Edmonton Oilers and Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. No matter what happens from here on out, it's like this team is as good as they were all season, and it's time we start showing them some fucking respect.
I clowned them before Demko went down.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, this team is not ready for playoffs. They're the Devils of last year. They're done. They're going to lose to the Predators probably, and they will certainly get rolled by the Oilers. What did we say? I said 5, I think. 6. No, we said 6. We said Edmonton.
I think we both said 6.
Yeah, but still, it was like a no-brainer Oilers pick. I've been so impressed. Quick question before we go to the number one topic on goals from the Vancouver game. Brock Boeser, natural hattie.
Not so fast.
So for people listening that don't know, a natural hat trick is 3 goals. A natural hat trick is you score 3 goals in a row.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Brock Boeser, the Oilers go up 1-0, right? Weren't they up 1-0 in that game? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were. And then it was like Boeser tied it.
Why can't I? This is so. We're such fucking brain dead idiots. Why
You're watching a million games at once.
I know, but god damn, it's our only fucking job.
Oilers went up 1-0. I'm 99.9% sure. I'll be stunned if you tell me.
Ekholm scored first. Yeah. Yes.
Boom. Oilers goal. Then Boeser. Sick moment. I guess not a lot of Canucks fans there because that game was in Edmonton.
Yeah.
But some hats hit the ice, and I've never. Actually, I wonder if you have. I've never thrown a hat on the ice.
No.
I like my hats.
I don't get it at all. I respect it. When people toss their head on the ice, I respect you, sir.
It's
or
sick.
madam.
It's a sick visually thing.
Yeah.
Like I want to contribute to
I've
that.
never understood being like, this is my hat that I like that I wore to this game. I'm going to fire it on the
Dude, I might start. I'm having this idea right now. I might start bringing a hattie hat.
It's not a good idea, dude. People have been doing that for years. Don't think that you've just reinvented the wheel. You, sir, just created a square.
Dude.
Because that's what you are.
No.
L7 weenie.
You're saying
for thinking that you just thought of that idea first. There are so many people who go to games with a hattie hat that they're like, I'm going to toss this if someone gets a hat.
Yeah, okay, sorry. And first of all, to be very clear, I didn't imply I was making this
No,
up.
you thought you were doing something there.
And that's not even what I meant.
Doing something.
This is what I mean, and maybe I am making this up, actually. Maybe I am making this up.
Oh, he's back now.
This is what I meant.
Horse again.
Because I don't want to wear a hat to the rink. I like looking with the sick hat on at the game. I'm saying I'm going to wear my sick hat
And
that
then
I would
bring
never
a hattie
throw,
hat.
and then bring a hattie hat that's like belt clipped over here. And then, Pasta gets 3, and I'm like, boom.
People have been doing that since hat tricks, my man.
Shit.
Get a grip.
Anyway, that's what we should start doing so we can participate in the hat throw.
Don't hate it at all.
Because like if I had a hattie hat on me, I would throw it like for the visiting team.
Yeah.
Like if I'm in a Bruins game and
You're
the
that
other
committed to the
the
toss.
other guy gets a hattie.
You're sitting with a buddy who's like that's a fan of that team. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You're
I am 100% chucking it. Yeah, here's probably the other problem too. I'm very rarely sitting close enough to get my hat on the ice in my life. So we also should normalize hats getting just chucked all the way down. Like everyone should start raining
if
their
a
hats,
hat
and you
comes
should just
down,
catch
you
it and
grab
keep
and
going.
toss it. No doubt about it.
So anyway,
hold on. Before we move on, I do want to say,
I just want to finish the Boeser thought.
Go on.
When there's a scoring change, he didn't get a hattie.
Yeah.
I think the rink should actually make an announcement on the Jumbotron that goes, yo, we have the hats. If you are one of the people that threw your hat, please come at the end of the game, come outside section 105 and get your hat back. There was no hat trick scored tonight.
I understand what you are saying, but no.
Yeah, dude, that's so easy. They're in a huge basket.
It'd be too complicated. You're getting a ton of fans. You don't know if someone's being honest and they're going to steal that hat. You're opening the door to theft.
Dude,
What are you, a criminal? Don't talk to me, criminal.
The seventh circle
Don't talk
of hell.
to me.
The seventh circle of hell is reserved for a dude who goes down to section 105 and takes a hattie hat that he never once owned.
Do you have any idea how many drunk fans are at these games and they're walking by and just someone who is a bit drunk enough sees a cool hat and they go, I'm going to take that hat.
Wow.
I don't like it. I would never do it, but there are people who are going to do that.
You're right.
End of the day, these hats get donated to charity. You've made a donation the second that comes out of your hand.
Whoa, so I'm actually robbing from charity.
Yes, you're now stealing from charity. Not only are you asking people to steal from other people, you're also stealing from charity.
Hey, scrub this. Scrub this.
You, sir,
Scrub this.
are a scumbag.
Scrub this from
You're
the
a
record.
piece of shit.
Scrub this.
The last thing I wanted to say is I am in love with Zadorov. He is my darling of the playoffs.
We'll get into that in
I'm high on Trocheck.
Yep.
He's my other darling, but Zadorov is my guy that I'm like, I love everything this guy's doing. I would kill for him. Okay, our number one story in the No Buckie Warm Up, the Latvian Spider, SHELOB, she loves.
I need your limbs.
Oh
I need your limbs too to make 8.
There's 8 of us now.
I need
The Latvian Spider. 8,
There he is.
8 arms. That's what he's doing in net. Are you kidding me with this guy? Third string goalie was hanging around in the AHL counting pennies 3 weeks ago, and then bang, he's in the NHL. He's starting for the Vancouver Canucks. He's beating and stifling Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. He's got a 2-1 lead against the Oilers. This guy is out of control. He's wrapping up Frodo in his spare time. He's winning NHL games on the clock. Holy hell, this man.
We could make her do it. That was pretty good.
Yes, that actually was.
Oh my God. Dude, honestly,
Hold on. Am I looking at Gollum across?
yeah, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Lose my hair. SHELOB actually didn't play that great in games 1 or 2, but 42 save.
Hey, he pulled it together in game 1.
Yep, absolutely. 42 save. What was his save percentage in that game? I think
40
I wrote it
save,
down.
right? 40 save?
42 save, I'm pretty sure.
They had 45 shots?
I'm pretty sure.
Hell yeah, dude.
Just a tremendous remember for the rest of your life performance.
Yep.
They still scored 3. They hit a bunch of posts.
I don't care. If it's same with Swayman, dude. If you're getting over 40 shots and you give it 3, I'm
agree.
like, yeah,
100%.
your save percentage is still out of control.
But this is my question. And dude, I couldn't be more excited about this.
Yeah.
Because I love when you see a guy, something like this happen to a kid like that, who would, like you said, was a awesome prospect to come out of Latvia, a country that loves their hockey, beat Team USA for bronze, I want to say, when he was coming up the junior ranks.
That's right.
So just a great story, and then they must be going crazy for him back there. Awesome thing. What would he, and I saw on Hockey Talk, someone had asked, if Demko's ready, what do you do? And you go, and we actually joked about this with Eddie too. He's like, yeah, you play, if Demko's ready, you play the guy, the Vezina finalist.
Yeah.
So before you answer, what would need to happen, in your opinion,
For him to Tom Brady?
for this to become a Brady situation?
Yeah, I stand by that on the Hockey Talk. Like, yes, dude, I'm sorry. And this is one of those things that maybe the fans will never hear, maybe the media will never hear. But if Demko goes through a medical test and your team doctors are like, he is at 100%, whatever his ailment is, and Demko's like this, I feel 100%. Right now, you have to play him.
Yes,
that is your
for
all-star,
game 4
Vezina caliber goalie.
If he's ready this morning, Adam Banks is this morning. Yes, he's playing game 4.
He's playing.
Yep.
If he doesn't do that, and we go game 4, and SHELOB goes in, gets another win, and I don't want to put numbers on this, but like if they win 6-5, I'm starting Demko.
Okay. Yep.
If he gives up 3 goals or less and has a save percentage of over 930.
Over 930?
Yep. And is clearly, because what was his save percentage?
High, but that's a high bar. Like over 910.
No. I think
You need a 930.
I need a 930. I need a, like, this fucking guy stood on his, I'm trying to think of a spider body part. What's the big ass called?
I think it's just the body.
No, it's like it's got a name. It's got a scientific name.
I don't know.
Fuck, I wish I had that. But if he is
Doing a head
slinging
with his 8 eyes,
is he
seeing backdoor passes with one of his 8 eyes.
if he is slinging 8 arms and making saves like he did in game 3, where they're like, dude, that you won that game for us, I think you Brady him.
So just one more is enough.
One more clear SHELOB stole that game for us.
Yep.
I'm starting him. I think I am. And again, it's one of those things where I just don't believe that Demko's ever going to be at 100%. I don't believe he's ever going to be at 100. I mean, the guy is clearly, for him to be missing games, he is hurt, folks.
Mm-hmm.
He's hurt. So if he's not at 100 and SHELOB is playing like this, I'm like, come on. Yeah. Obviously, this guy's starting.
Okay, I think I am 2 more. I think if he wins game 4 and you're up, I guess that'd be 3-1.
Yeah, like, so if they win the series?
They win the series. Honestly, if they win the series, I'm probably going with him.
Yeah. If they win the series and knock out Edmonton, then you're like, yeah, you're probably starting in the conference finals.
Wouldn't you, if let's say they win the next 2 games 6-5, and then Demko's ready. So like they beat Edmonton in 5, but the next 2 games are 6-5, 6-5, and his save percentage is 8-3-0 in both. And then Demko goes, I'm 100%. Aren't you like, please?
Yeah, of course.
That's what I'm saying. So it's not just win the series. Like,
yeah, well,
if they win
I'm
the
sorry, but
series,
you said 2 game. When you said 2 more, I was thinking 2 games. I'm like, yes, if he wins the next 2 in a row and wins I'm like, then I'm probably starting.
But that's what I mean. If he wins the next 2 in a row,
And it's just a shit
6-5,
show?
6-5, and
Yeah.
now you've now won the series.
Fair.
I'm still like, you're out.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I don't imagine we're going to have 2 6-5.
Me neither, but it's
yeah,
possible,
that's
yeah.
fair. That is a caveat that would change things.
But if he plays, actually, maybe I'll even go this far. If they win game 4 and he plays sick,
Yeah.
and then they lose game 5, 1-0, and he plays sick, I'm still, and then Demko goes, I am ready.
I still start SHELOB.
I'm like this, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
His net.
Yeah.
I
mean,
if I get 2 more sick starts,
Yeah.
it is like
the guy.
it is his even through like a bad game. Like
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you're pulled this game, but you're still going back in.
He's the guy.
Wow, crazy.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, that is it for No Buckie Warm Up. We're going to strap on the buckets now and get into our Bauer Hockey Hot Ice.
I want to talk to you guys about our hot ice sponsor right now because they got to be the hottest name in hockey history since 1927, almost 100 years, and that's obviously with Bauer Hockey. I don't care what level of player you are. If you're trying to get your game to the next level, to the level above that, I need you to go to bauer.com/training right now and check out the stuff they got there. They got the digital reactor dangler, which I don't need at all because I have the most lethal towie in the world. But if you did need a better towie, you would use that. Now, they also have the reactor slide board. And because since I have square wheels, I do need that to improve my stride and improve my skating. But have a look. They've got everything. And because they love you and because we love you, you can use promo code EMPTY, that's EMPTY, for free shipping on all your orders.
The biggest topics going on
Yeah,
right now.
2 lengthy ones.
And we're going to start with Sam Bennett. We're going to start with the Sam Bennett situation. And things get testy here.
I know, dude.
Because you know what I don't like is I don't like when fan bases get picked on. And I've been really annoyed with seeing, and obviously because this is my kin, these are my people. I've been annoyed with the Florida Panthers fans who, by the way, I'm still going to little brother you Florida Panthers fans and your 0 cups. And I love you. I love Florida and I love the Panthers. But like, get off your high horse being like this, typical Boston crying fans. And I'm like, have you guys even been fans for more than 10 years? Like fucking.
They have. Hey.
Relax.
They have.
Relax.
94, baby. Or 96. Shout out.
The Sam Bennett situation is wild. Absolutely wild. Because let's start with the Marchand punch. Mm-hmm. I've got a few things, and I want to keep it cute.
Yeah, keep it cute.
I want to keep it cute.
Nice.
I don't want to get heated about this because it's Marshy's not my my family member. I don't need to defend him that intensely, although I will. Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of things to say about this. Number one, let's start with what I think is the elephant in the room. People online and people in discussions saying Marshy's a rat, he deserves it. Or you fuck around and you find out. That is, in my opinion, a super lazy take. It's a super ignorant and stupid take that makes you sound like a biased, annoying fan. I don't want to sound like a school teacher here, but it's as simple as 2 wrongs don't make a right, dude. Just because someone is a dirty and chippy player doesn't mean that they are allowed to get scumbag cheap shotted.
And
like
let me just
that's a
interject.
crazy take and a crazy stance to have, people. So let's keep it cute and let's recalibrate and look at it from an objective standpoint and not have that be your defense.
Just to interject on that, if there was a scrum after the whistle and Marshy and Bennett were squared up and Marshy jabbed him one in the jaw and then Bennett jabbed him one back and Marshy got conked, I would go, fuck around and find out, Brad.
Absolutely.
You little rat, you hit him after the whistle, he hit you back, and now you have a concussion and he doesn't.
Absolutely.
That is not what happened here.
And I think people need to understand, and I know some people do, the difference between getting cocked in the face in a scrum or a net front battle versus a bang bang in the middle of the gameplay. Dude, when you're skating around and you're going to finish a check on someone or you're grinding up against someone on the boards, you are not expecting to get clocked in the face because that is illegal and should lead to a suspension or some sort of ramifications. Now, the other thing I'll say is Marchand has done this. Marchand has punched Hartnell in the back of the head. Marchand has elbowed Marcus Johansson in the head in a play, and he got suspended for that one. So people are like, this roles reversed. You wouldn't, and I'm like, yes, I would. Like, absolutely I would. So that's the crazy thing. The other thing I want to say is the new angle
Yeah.
that was released yesterday. That will be Sunday, folks. That came out that they played on TNT.
Everywhere.
And
Yeah,
Liam and
Colby,
Biz
shout
and
out
Colby,
Army
Army.
doing his detective work.
They were showing that angle. And then everyone, as far as pundits and media, were like, oh, yeah, I mean, that's clearly a punch to the face.
Yep.
Everyone, like unanimous media people were like, yep, that is obviously a punch to the face. The fucking NHL acting like they hadn't seen that angle yet
Yeah.
is one of the crazier things I've ever seen in my life. People being like this, and people are in our DMs during Hockey Talk. People were like, show me one angle where there's clearly a punch to the face. And I had that clip ready because it's all over Twitter. And I was DMing it to people going, here it is. And credit to them. Everyone went, oh my God, I hadn't seen that angle. That is absolutely a punch to the face.
Yep.
So I'm just confused how the NHL is like looking at that because they're like, player safety is going to have to take a look at that. And they go, nothing happened. Day of the game, they were like, nothing happened. And then, Saturday, nothing happened. And then yesterday, everyone is like this, oh, something clearly happened.
Yeah.
But Bennett's playing. I am having a hard time not tightening up the tinfoil hat and being like, yeah, the NHL player safety definitely hadn't seen that angle yet.
Especially because not especially, that's the wrong word, but Bennett has a history of this stuff.
Just like Marshy.
99s,
and
no, but
let's
I
be
mean
clear.
specifically the loose. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So does Marshy.
Well, let's be clear. I fucking love Sam Bennett.
Me too. We met him last year.
He's the same thing as
Amazing
Brad
dude.
Marchand. These guys, these rat players who toe the line, it's what we always say. And Brad wins it every year. You hate playing against him. You would fucking love to have them on your team. And that's why I love both players. So no one's attacking Sam Bennett here, but this is a play where Sam Bennett's toeing the line and he should have got caught because what he did was fucking illegal.
I have actually I think you are going to be very surprised with my take on both of the Bennett situations here.
Interesting.
He, in the TNT broadcast, after the game came on, and Ace even said, Anson was like, dude, credit to you for coming on the mic with us. We asked, you didn't have to say yes.
Yeah.
But we're going to ask you the tough questions. Biz was like, did you rabbit punch him?
Yeah.
And Bennett's answer was, it's a hockey play. I'm bracing for impact. Wrong. So
Liar.
What's he gonna say though? You know.
Of course. Oh, he did everything right.
I disagree, sir, that's what you were doing. However, I do think this. He saw Brad coming and went to catch him high. Like he was like, oh, and the only reason it's only one hand is because he was getting hit onto his left hand.
Well, he had one hand on the stick that whole play. And yes, like he could have brought them both together, but
which would have been egregious.
Weird angle. So he's like, yep.
Yeah, and I really think he's going like, and to try to put it on the boards, like I really do think he's trying to finish a check like with a loose hand high, which he's done before, and he's 100%. I'm not saying I think Bennett that was a clean play and it was a hockey play like he's saying. I'm saying 100% you were trying to make contact really up high on Brad.
Yeah, in his head.
Yeah, I'll even say head. But I genuinely believe, and of course, I know you don't even think Bennett was like, I'm going to give him a concussion.
Going to concuss him. No
way.
way.
No one thinks that.
No way.
But I genuinely believe even he didn't know, because that looked like one of those boxer, like Josh, like, it was just
clocked
fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
right on the button.
You are gone.
Right on the
button.
button.
One of those UFC 2-second knockout plays.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that was just unbelievably bad luck angle of his hand. Like he was like, I'm just gonna get this, I'm gonna get Brad up high. Fuck off, Brad.
Yeah.
And it just, the jaw came around, and dude, that's a fast play. We're all watching the slow motion replay. The jaw came around at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He's got the fucking stick, brass knuckles in his hand too. Yeah. Just so many things came together to just have the knockout blow that I don't believe even Bennett meant for it to go that bad. Like he was like, oh, I was just gonna pop you a little up high, like have you run into my arm shiver, not like, oh shit, I didn't realize I jawed you.
I don't hate that take at all. I think I'm maybe a little closer to, I think Bennett was like, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
You did think it was a little rabbit job.
Oh, dude, to me, his arm is cocked and there's such a clear this motion. And I know it's bang bang, but like he could have just stayed like this and followed through, but one arm goes bink.
Yeah, I still kind of think he was just like almost like a get off me movement.
Either way, it's one of those things where I'm like this. What you did was illegal. You knew what you were doing was illegal. Maybe you didn't mean to punch him on the jaw, but you did. So it's like those
Yeah, we always say that.
Like
I
when
don't care
Tom
if he didn't try
Wilson
to trip him.
threw out that slash and fucking smoked the guy in the face, he's like, oh, I wasn't trying to do that, but I'm like this, don't care. Penalty.
Yep.
Because fucking
Because
obvious.
that's what happened. Yep.
Yes. And in this circumstance where Bennett does something very illegal and throws a rabbit punch and clocks Brad Marchand in the head, concusses him and knocks him out for a game, I'm like, that is probably a suspension. Folks.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're talking about here.
Okay.
It's a scumbag move.
Oh.
And I hate that. That's a little harsh. It's a slightly scummy play
Yeah.
that went worse than he probably
Because
intended.
I really just thought it was a little like, get off me, Brad.
I mean, you know, a lot of people, when they shoot people, they don't mean to kill them, and then they do. So, you know.
And then before we do the Coyle thing, on that Maroon, I just wanted to say there's been a ton of people being like, what do we even bring Big Rig here for? Fight somebody, do something about that. I don't know if you saw his presser, but he was like, dude,
I'm obviously trying to fight
I'm
people.
asking people. Like, it's the playoffs. Not everyone wants to go. I'm doing what I'm brought here to do. I'm doing the best I can. Let's go win a fucking hockey game, to quote him. And I believe him 1 billion%.
Yeah, me too. 100%. And frankly, dude, in the playoffs, I actually don't think that's Maroon's job.
Yeah.
Because anyone with a brain on Florida is going to be like, I'm not going to fight him.
Don't need this
Why would I
energy.
do that?
Yep.
Why would I do that? And frankly, dude, me watching Big Rig beat up like Mikkola or someone, you know, what's that going to do for me as a fan?
Yeah.
Like, what I want to see is Big Rig fucking mash Bennett's face into the
Right.
ground. And obviously, Bennett's too smart to do that.
Yep.
So, and you obviously have got to wait for the right situation on the ice. Give me a hit like McAvoy's all day. That is what changes the momentum. Fucking bury someone in the play cleanly and fairly. And then in front of the net, dude, when everyone's going, if the refs are clearly letting some of this shit go after the whistle, come down on someone's fucking wrists. Yeah. Absolutely. Give someone a fucking hack to the back of the knees. Face wash someone. Be a pest. Get dirty. That's the type of stuff. A Pat Maroon fight.
Don't need it.
No one's going to agree to it. And I personally, I don't need it. I don't think it does fucking anything.
Yep. Okay, the goalie interference. Everybody on TV, including Army and the boys at intermission, were like, I can't believe that. Or actually, I think they said they felt initially like it should have been goalie interference. This is the Bennett go-ahead goal, game-winning goal, right? The panger on the broadcast, literally on the broadcast, it was like minutes later, was like, I actually still cannot get over that no call on the goalie interference, which you never hear. Announcers are always the most like, well, you know, let's bring on so-and-so who's the ref official, and we'll know. To hear Panger say that, I was like, oh my God. So
may I read?
Yeah, please.
If a defending player has been pushed, shoved, or fouled by an attacking player so as to cause the defending player to come into contact with his own goalkeeper, such contact shall be deemed contact initiated by the attacking player for purposes of this rule. And if necessary, a penalty assessed to the attacking player, and if a goal is scored, it would be disallowed.
Okay.
It's one of the more cut and dry things I've ever seen.
So here's my slightly surprising take. Again, I'm big Bennett guy. My slightly surprising take is this. I actually was in transit, for full transparency. So I'm watching this whole game, and then I have to get from where I am to my house to watch the rest of the game.
Yep.
And that goal happened as I'm on the road. So I was like seeing it on my phone. I didn't see it live. I come in, Dan's all rattled. I got my phone's blowing up. I'm like digging through Twitter to watch it. Everybody made it sound to me, including the broadcast team, that Bennett just buried Coyle's lower back, sends him flying into Swayman, most cut and dry thing ever. And then Bennett in his post game with the boys was like, I didn't think it was much of a shove. And which I fucking love.
Yep. I'm going to be honest, he's not that wrong.
Okay, dude, that's my take. I'm actually way closer to, and I'm not talking about the interpretation of the rule. I'll get there in 1 second, but I actually am so on his side that I'm like, dude, he pushes Coyle for sure, but it's just a push. And if you watch it again, Coyle slides forward, and he does like the little whiplash thing, but he moves forward completely on his feet still because of the severity of the push. Then he hits Swayman, who's playing goalie and is on the ice. If Swayman is not standing there, Coyle does not fall. Period, in my opinion. That wasn't even hard enough to knock Coyle off his feet. He just gets moved forward and then trips on Swayman because Swayman's standing there.
Yeah, okay. That's fair, but this is another one where I'm like, dude, not being a dick, you sound ignorant. Well, yes, you sound ignorant because, like, yeah, sure, dude. You could get pushed from behind, and if there's a box in front of you and you trip over it, That would be like you coming up to me and shoving me in the back, and I'm clearly off balance because I can't see you coming, and anyone who gets pushed in the back is caught off guard and off balance. And then I trip over a box and I turn around at you and you go like this. You tripped on the box, loser.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but
It just wasn't that hard of a push. Like that's a completely hockey play for me.
I think it's a shit argument because he hit his goaltender.
Oh,
So like it's one of those things where I'm like, you're making a fair point, but you're a fucking ass clown because of the situation that ensued.
well, you didn't let me get to the rule, dude. I said give me
Shut
a
up.
second to get to the rule.
Okay, fine.
Because
Keep going.
What is really true is if Bennett goes like this with his right hand and gently moves Charlie Coyle 2 inches, which wouldn't be a penalty ever, but he moves him into Swayman, it's goalie interference. Period. Because of the verbatim rule you just read. An attacking player moved a defensive player into his goalie. So to just finish my thought, no matter how hard he gets pushed, the fact that he is moved into Swayman makes it the most obvious goalie interference call I've ever seen. And I literally cannot believe they didn't call it. I just wanted to come to the Bennett defense of, I don't think he touches him that much. But unfortunately, even if you breathe on him and he moves into the goalie, it's goalie interference.
It's goalie interference, and that's obvious. Okay. Sorry, I jumped the gun. But I do want to say this. This is the thing that does piss me off. And I'm being very open and honest here. I'm soft for this. I am. But I just love hockey so much. And the unwritten self-policing rules, I'm like, yep, cool, I get it. I played it. It's good. It's fun. I've hacked people a couple times in front of the net. No doubt about it. I think that there are players in the league who, for the most part, aren't doing shit like that even when they're trying to get position. Mm-hmm. I think a guy on the Panthers, like Sasha Barkov, for example, is not cross-checking guys.
Would never.
Not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Is not cross-checking guys in the back to get better position. Because I think there's a way, you keep using the word he slightly pushes him. It is in the rule book that if you have your hand separated on a stick and put your stick into the back of another player, it is a penalty. Obviously, that's not called every time because we'd have 50 fucking penalties a game. Yeah. There's shit that goes on in front of the net, like those rib shots we talk about all the time, the spine shots we talk about all the time that people don't see them all the time. It's a violent game. It's a beautiful game. I get that. However, I take umbrage with it's a slight push because what Bennett could have done is what I always talk about. Have your hands on your stick like this, use one fist, push him in the hip, push him in the back, because that is effectively the same thing, especially in this circumstance, because really what he's doing is knocking Coyle off balance.
Yep.
He's not bundling.
Yeah.
Because that I do want to stand by. He did not hit him that hard. But unfortunately, I think he puts his stick into Coyle's spine. Not that hard, but he goes like this, with stick, cross-check. That is a definition of a cross-check. Not with his fist, not with two hands together, and then it happens. So that's why I'm a bit like, it wasn't a push.
Yeah.
It was a cross-check. It was a lighter cross-check, but it was a cross-check. So it then leads into what you talked about. He goes into Swayman. Swayman's literally still moving that way. Like people are like, this Swayman had his leg out. I'm like, Swayman is down in a butterfly stance. His leg's already out, and you can see his body sliding the opposite direction because Coyle's body is pushing him. So I'm like, that was fucking
ridiculous.
Crazy. Now, rant's over. I think it's clear that should have been a goalie interference call. I want to be doubly clear. The Panthers outplayed the Bruins in that game.
Oh, yeah.
I said it on the Instagram. That's why I'm not sitting here bitching about the result of the game.
Totally.
I'm bitching about one call. The Panthers outplayed Boston. Swayman stood on his head again like the absolute beast and beauty that he is. And the Bruins played a good, hard first period. Still kind of low shots. I mean, like I think shots were 13-5 at one point in that first period when they were up 2-0.
Dude,
but it's like the Vancouver one where it's like you're making the most of your opportunities. End of the day, 42-18 shots. You know, you're not doing yourselves any favors. And then when you're getting hosed on a call like that, that's brutal. Makes the game 2-2. And then you go on the PK. Also sucks. But you kill that off, and then you take another stupid interference call and another stupid, like they had chances to right the wrong that the refs made, but they just didn't. They got outplayed. And then that Barkov goal was beautiful, but it was also just simply a hustle play. Like there were times where A could have got that puck out of the zone, or B taken the puck off Barkov's stick, and they didn't. And here's the thing. I think the boys in that locker room, in fact, I know the guys in that locker room for Boston are pissed about that call. They're pissed about the Bennett punch, but they're also going, we didn't play that fucking well in this game.
Dan.
They're not sitting here fucking crying and boohooing. They're going, that was a bullshit call, but we got to be better. We're going to be better. We're going to come out in game 5 and try to be much, much better. And that's what I fucking love about that group. And again, that was a crazy call. Like, it's just
insane, dude.
But I'm sitting here bitching about the call, not the result of the game. The result of the game was a very great fought battle by both teams, particularly Florida, and they got a big win. That call was nuts. That's that.
Yep. Next piece of hot ice is, are the Oilers a playoff team?
Absolutely, dude.
And here's what I want to talk about first. I got 2 major points here. Number 1, Stuart Skinner. So, Knobloch had some comments, after the game. He said 2 really blunt things, one even more damning than the first. After the game, he said, quote, yes, we need more saves. I think we can all agree there.
Sure.
Okay. Picard went in, obviously, in the third. Yep. And then he said, quote, we'll see, talking about Skinner, we'll see what he's got in the future, whether it's game 4 or game 5 or whenever it is, but we'll see Stu again. That does not sound to me like a man who is starting game 4 of this.
It sure doesn't, Chris. It sure doesn't.
And, maybe he has a good day of practice today. But to me, I'm like, get the towel, tuck it right in.
Tuck it into
get comfortable, get yourself a neck pillow.
Tuck it under your pads.
Yeah.
Too. Get some cushion there.
And make sure you're working the door.
Yeah.
Make sure you get the door going, because that's your job now.
Maybe grab a Pepsi so your blood sugar doesn't drop too low.
That is your job now.
Yeah.
This is what can't happen, Dan.
Yeah, read me these numbers, dude.
He has been beaten 12 times on 58 shots through the first 3 games of this series. After, by the way, he was good this year. We said this, but he had a good season.
Good season.
36, 16, and 5, 262 goals against, 905 save percentage. If they were getting that from him, they would be up 3-0 in this series. That's a fact.
Yeah.
He allowed 3 goals on 11 shots in the first period last game. The home crowd is chanting, Skinner, Skinner. And I'm like, yo, we've lost the room. We've lost the building.
Dude, you have, obviously it wasn't the home crowd, but there was enough people in Vancouver there just absolutely bombarding him.
It's this fact, Draisaitl, leading point scorer in the playoffs, 18. McDavid, second leading point scorer in the playoffs, 17. You were getting dummied by the Canucks. And this happens all the time, dude.
I know.
Every year they get in, and these 2 dudes. Remember last year, Draisaitl had the most points in the playoffs, well into the Western Conference Finals when they had been out for 5 games.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you going home in the second round again? And I just don't think. I don't know. I genuinely I've brought no joy always dogging Skinner on this podcast. But
it sucks.
I'm just like, dude, I feel like we go, hey, your goalie needs to be better. You don't quite have the goalie to win in the playoffs. And then Edmonton fans lose your shit at me, and I'm like, am I wrong? And I want it for him, dude. This would be sick. I want to see McDavid and Draisaitl succeed. And Skinner, I want to see you guys succeed. It just makes no sense to me that you think that's not an issue with this team.
Yeah, it's what really blows is I hate dogging Skinner. I also hate dogging Edmonton.
Yes.
I think they're a fun team. I think they're a fun franchise. And I love Connor and I love Leon. The frustrating thing with them is it feels to me that they're the easy statement and sentiment is that they are top heavy, right?
Yep.
People go, yeah, you've got 2 of the best 3 players in the league. You can't ride them to a cup though. What's frustrating is when you look at their contracts and look at, how much they take up, it's not worse than Toronto.
Yep.
Right? And obviously Toronto does worse than them every single year.
Yeah, good point.
But it's also, it's not, you look at the roster and you're getting, I think, the best contract in the NHL in Hyman, and you're getting incredible production from him, but there is a drop off.
RNH didn't have the season he had last year,
Nurse hasn't been playing up to that contract necessarily. So there is a drop off, and you do sort of sit there and be like, yeah, maybe that's it. They're obviously a playoff team, But I don't think Skinner is helped out at all by their lack of depth. I don't think they're getting anything from their bottom six, anything at all. I think their defense has a lot of holes, and that all of that stuff hurts a goalie. It is brutal now that this is a narrative with him, and the numbers are as bad as they are because to me that's and we'll see in game 4 who starts. But that statement feels like we'll see him again being like, we're going to sit you down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, dude, like that is so tough for everyone's mentality here.
Exactly. And the boys, we talk about that all the time too, where it's like you just feel like you're not getting the save, and it's like this is devastating. Draisaitl after was like, that feels like one we should have won.
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, sure does, buddy.
And when you're just out shooting a team like this, and we talked all about SHELOBs, when you're out shooting a team like this, they've got a goalie, an unexpected goalie. You'd expect Demko to do something like this, an unexpected goalie standing on his head, and you're losing games like that. You are like, oh boy. This is scary.
Okay, so now the biggest topic for me, honestly, even more than the Bennett stuff, is what went down with Connor McDavid after the whistle.
When he got put in a wood chipper?
Now, I was just checking to see if there's any update on suspensions or fines for your boy Zadorov or Saucy. I know Zadorov has been given the maximum $5,000 fine already.
For that project.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's more coming, if anyone's going to suspend it or whatever. So it's nothing that I'm seeing yet for Saucy.
Yeah.
The play in question is there's a scramble. And actually, I wanted to say this too. Zadorov is the man. And I cut you off before because I wanted to wait till this moment so you can sound off on him right if you want right now. But what an ad. Drilling Kane into the bench
best.
On that massive hit, which he takes a penalty for, but he's just in your face. And Kaner's laughing.
Yeah.
But like the bench takes a bench minor. Like, he's making an impact out there.
Yeah. I've got something to say about all that, however.
Okay, go ahead.
I just think Vancouver's vibes right now.
Yep.
They are vibes.
Yep.
And I love it. You guys, I love the physical game. I love that from Zadorov. The extra shove, though, that got you the penalty. Thank God.
They took it. Yeah.
They took one, too. I love what you're doing, Vancouver, but taking stupid penalties in an effort of getting in Edmonton's head physically is going to backfire.
Correct.
So stop doing that because their power play is simply too good. It's literally the only thing keeping them in these games. You need to stop taking dumb penalties. Like, do what you got to do. Some funny stuff after the whistle, sure. You cannot afford to take stupid penalties against this team. That's all I'm saying.
And that bench minor was bullshit, by the way. McDavid was fuming after that.
I thought it was horrible.
They didn't do shit.
I agree. I thought it was horrible.
Literally he does that, good hit, finishes Kane like 3 times into the bench. And the Oilers bench is just going, like the whole time is like, hey.
Yeah. And Kaner's a feisty guy.
Yeah.
Like, credit to Kaner.
He reeled it in.
Came up, sat there, just smiled. That was
bullshit call.
That was bullshit.
So, at the end of the game, Oilers down 1, mad scramble, almost a goal. SHELOB makes another save. Someone kind of like poked Connor or something. Everyone's saying Connor started it. He didn't start it, but like someone kind of like got a stick somewhere. And McDavid turns around and baseball bats. Who was against the wall? Zadorov?
I think it's Saucy.
Saucy was against. No,
Saucy came around and got Connor in the back.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I think he baseball bats Zadorov.
Okay.
And it's in the fucking pants, guys, or maybe even in the shin pads. I don't know, but like he baseball bats him in the pants.
Hey, buddy, I've torn an MCL in less than that.
Yep, and it wasn't the chillest thing I've ever seen, by far, but it wasn't that bad. But certainly, in my opinion, warrants a cross-check right in the chest, like high, not in the face, but like if that had gone like this, baseball bat into the pants, Zadorov cross-check right in McDavid's chest, or Saucy cross-check right in McDavid's fucking L5 lumbar.
Well, that's the difference. Saucy got him in the face.
Oh,
You're
Saucy
getting it
did get him
backwards.
in the face. Okay,
yes.
yeah. So I guess he hits Saucy in the pads. But my point is, if either McDavid receives a cross-check in the chest or a cross-check in the lower back for that, it is the most nothing burger fine thing that's ever happened at the end of a one-goal playoff hockey game. Very unfortunately.
Oh, dude. I mean, it is like the most violent looking thing I've ever seen.
Dude.
It's just like Connor gets cracked in the spine, folds like a chair, and then on the way down, Saucy catches him in the face. And I will say, if you think that Saucy's trying to hit him in the face, you need to go to a hospital because there is a tumor growing in your brain. He is clearly just trying to give it to him as well.
Yep.
But Connor folds. And I'm not saying like, Connor is like embellishing. I'm saying Connor folds because he gets cross-checked in the spine and his level changes, and that's why he gets hit in the face.
Dude, it's...
I hate this because it's what I was railing on earlier. I think the self-policing shit is getting out of control because if you're not calling anything because you're like, we're going to let the players do this shit, it's going to get worse. And I think it's ruining games because it's making certain players be on the ice when they shouldn't. It's making calls happen that shouldn't or that would change a game. Like, dude, we got to get this under control a little bit here. Connor got away with a couple, dude.
Yeah.
Connor got away with a couple in that game. Connor high-sticked badly Quinn Hughes in the face. That led to blood. That led to 0 penalty. So it's not tit for tat, but I'm just saying, like, you know, that happened. Connor got away with a cross-check to someone high earlier, then the baseball bat. It's not a fuck around and find out. I fucking hate that shit. Yeah. This one's tough. Like, if Saucy gets a sussy for this, I would
and that's a lot of minutes, dude. Like,
oh my God.
He's at like 18, Zadorov's at 20 a game. Yeah.
I would feel bad. There's part of me that's like, I would fine Saucy for that. Absolutely. Regardless of the intent. He gets fined for that.
I mean, Zadorov gets 5.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think Zadorov's is finable after the baseball bat. There's a baseball bat and there's a cross check to the back. I'm like, that's...
Like, if you're going to do that, you have to find Connor, too.
Yeah.
Like, Connor is clearly pissed because he's losing, which to me is more finable because I'm like, you are not in control of your emotions.
Yep.
You're losing and you're having a fucking temper tantrum.
Yep.
That's like a bigger fine for me. I just think suspending Saucy would just be a, like, we're out of control now. We're completely out of control now. If you're going to suspend him and no one's getting suspended on the other side, you're just like making it worse. But at the same time, what I'm saying is like, you've got to get this shit under control.
And you always
and
say,
I sound like such a fucking pussy.
But
right
no, but
now.
you
Like,
always say, Dan, it doesn't matter what the intent was. Saucy's trying to cross-check him in the chest because he got slashed by him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he got pushed from behind before he knew that. And he's made a million comments. He's like, dude, I wasn't trying to do that. But that's what happened. So I'm kind of like, maybe you do have to be like, dude, you buried him across the face. And have you seen anything I can't find on Twitter how Connor's doing? Like, I hope he's all right.
Yeah, he was talking. Right. There's nothing going. He's fine. Like, sorry, he's not. But he had interviews after the game. He's got no bruises, no cuts, and maybe that'll change. Maybe whatever. This is where I'm always like, especially in that scenario. Was the game over?
Yeah.
Like,
literally after the horn.
It's what's frustrating to me about those situations is, and I know this feels like a nothing, but it's not really, in my opinion. I toss him right there. I know the game's over.
Yeah.
But I'm like this, get off the fucking ice, dude. Like, you're tossed, get out, because like then you've done something.
Yeah, right.
They do need fines, absolutely. If he gets suspended for a game, I think that's harsh. I do.
I think he should get one, and I just think it's really unlucky. I think, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry that happened, but you fucking made him eat. I guess it's not wood anymore. You made him eat carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And that was uncalled for.
It's brutal. All right, let's kick it to our mailbag.
Yep.
Great questions, as always, from everyone. We've picked 4 of our favorites. Take me there with number 1.
First one, I'm kind of going to actually combine 2. We got a lot of which teams down in their series right now has the best chance to come back. And then also a few people asked, can a Canadian team win the cup this year? Because you're going to get one in the Western Finals no matter what.
Mm-hmm. So we're combining those 2?
Yeah, who can come back, and if none of us pick one of the Canadian teams to come back, then I guess the Oilers could come back. So yeah, answer both.
Avs are my answer.
Okay. Or best chance to come back.
Best chance to come back.
Rank them best chance to come back.
Okay.
Avs.
Oilers.
Okay.
Bruins. Canes.
Ooh. For me, Oilers, Avs, Canes.
Are you fucking crazy? Are you absolutely out of your mind? Like, come on.
Oh, dude. The Panthers are so good, man. I think they're both done, to be clear.
So do I.
But I just...
like, you got to be shitting me if you think the Canes can come back. Good Lord.
Okay. Actually, no. I said what I said.
Okay.
And no, I don't think a Canadian team can win the cup this year because I think both of those Canadian teams are worse than both the other Western teams, and
I think they're worse than both the
Eastern teams that I think are gonna. Yeah, exactly.
Completely agree.
Right.
I'm aligned with you completely on that.
Okay, next question. Will McDavid? This says, is McDavid a goat? A goat, not the goat. So why don't we just call it like a Mount Rushmore? Top 5. Is McDavid a top 5er if he never wins a cup? And before I even answer, I want to say I think he's going to win multiple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's not even a question. He will get it done. But interesting thought exercise.
I think he is going to win
Yep.
multiple cups as well. But let's live in a world where he does not win any. I think, yes, he is.
Top 5.
And can I explain why?
Yeah,
You give your answer first.
No, go ahead.
I think my explanation is Connor has been in the league for what? 8 years?
Yeah, sounds right.
He's 27, I think. Maybe more than 8. I don't know. Every year, Connor's doing something that we can't believe.
Yep.
It's like last year, was he going to score 70? This year, is he going to get 100 assists? He did.
Yeah.
He is, in my opinion, my lifetime's Gretzky.
Yep.
Obviously, I was alive when Gretzky was still playing, but
Yep.
I wasn't alive when Gretzky was like ripping the 80s.
Yep.
I saw 1 year of it. So for me, McDavid is our generation's Gretzky.
Well, Sid. You have Sid.
I completely disagree. Yep. No, I completely disagree. Sid was the next one because he was like the closest thing. But I think Sid he does stuff that you can't see.
Yes.
That the casual fan
Sid
can't
is
see.
literally underrated.
I completely agree with that. Sid is underrated. And his longevity speaks for itself. And I think that, at the end of the day, is why I still think Sid is one of the best ever and why he is on my Mount Rushmore. Mm-hmm. But Connor does things that you don't see and then things that you do see.
Yeah, a lot of.
And the big difference for me, dude, is Connor has at least 10 years left in this league. Mm-hmm. And every year he does a new thing that blows our minds. And the bigger thing for me is this. If Connor continues to play at this like 120 to 150 point pace for every fucking year for the next 8 or so years, then I'm like, first of all, points wise.
Yeah, he'll finish like second all time.
He's going to finish top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
He's already got absurd amounts of hardware. He's going to get even more and take away the cup.
Yep.
There's still more that he'll get. The biggest one for me is this. We talk to guys in the league who are certified all-stars, studs, and they legitimately look at us and go, I don't understand how good he is.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do to stop him. And he's literally, we have guys who I consider a top 5 guy in the league right now. Look me in the face and go, he's playing a different game than the rest of us.
Yep.
So to me, I'm like, the astonishment and the praise he gets from his peers in the league is like nothing I've personally ever heard or seen outside of Gretzky.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say if he never wins, it might be hard. Well, even though everyone will know how good he is, just because they're going to be, Wayne, Bobby, Mario. No, I'm not saying order. I'm just saying like Wayne, Bobby, Mario, and then you get into like the Gordie Howes and whatever. And for the Sid people, which admittedly I am,
It's Sid,
right? But it becomes really hard if Connor never wins. To be like, oh well, like he has all these better numbers than Sid, but like the players talk so highly of Sid and Connor together, and I'm like, Sid won 3 championships. Yep. It would become very hard, but I do think so. I was about to say no, but I do think you're right. He probably still gets top 5 just for the literal physical ability to play hockey.
Yeah, it would be crazy, Chris, if Connor never wins a cup and he retires. Let's call it number 2 all time in points with like 10 Hart trophies. Yep. And like, yeah,
yeah.
But like that would be like, this is the most insane thing I've ever
devastating.
seen. Yeah.
Okay, next one. Who's having a better playoff so far, Shesty or Otter?
I don't even think this is close.
Interesting.
I think it's Otter.
Oh, okay. I thought for sure you were going Shesty.
And sorry, Rangers fans, I'm one of you right now, but for me, dude, this is like the one thing I think. I don't even think this is it's not looking good for the Rangers, or this is something to say against the Rangers. It's just a reality. You've got these games against Carolina, and I think the same was the case about Washington. They're getting a lot of shots. It was like game 3 that they lost. I think they had like 40-something shots.
And game 2, the Carolina shot 57 times or something. Yeah.
They're not good shots.
Yep.
That game 2, overtime. Over 50 shots. Like Igor's save percentage is out of control. They're not good chances. They're these desperation sprays from the point, from outside the dots, just like shitty pucks on net. And Igor's doing his job, and he's a fucking monster. But I have really not seen a game yet where I'm like, damn, Igor won that game. Truly, I haven't. Like
He's been so locked though.
Yeah.
You know, like nothing. Yeah.
I have not seen him really being like, I am out of my gourd right now winning this game for us. He's doing his job perfectly.
Yep.
But like Otter has made some diabolical saves to keep them in games and to win and
Playing
steal
two much
them
tougher
games.
teams too. One, obviously, but
Yeah.
even two, like as much as I think the Canes are good.
New York, I don't think that the Rangers have stole a game these playoffs.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. That's
Yeah, it means you're dominating. Yep.
Yeah.
It
So
means you're dominating.
But yeah, that's the big difference for me.
Okay, yeah, I won't add too much then. I'll go Otter for sure. He had that one run of 2 goals or less against the Vegas. You know, he's playing awesome teams, and 1 or 2 bad games of this playoff, but again, he's playing like 2 of the best teams in the playoffs. So he's been fantastic, and they need him to be.
Yeah.
Okay, last one we're going to do today. Someone asks, what is one thing you would change about the 8 remaining playoff teams to give them a better chance to win?
Ooh.
So we'll go quick.
Okay, cool.
Let's go. So let's start in the West.
Okay.
Edmonton. Goaltending.
Yeah.
I'd get better goaltending.
Yeah.
Vancouver. Vancouver, I would
get better better offensive output.
and
like,
wing play. Like your wings, look at that. The centers, dude. Petey, Lindholm, JT.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude, other than Besser, I need a little bit more from the wings.
Yeah.
Better wing play.
I need more shots. I need just higher offensive pressure for them, that team.
Dallas.
Wow.
Get Pav going.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't want to like focus on
scoring.
one guy.
I don't know. They kind of do score.
They
I don't have much to say about Dallas.
Like, literally the other game, they had 2.
Yeah.
Sagan had 2 goals
Yep.
and Stank had 2
Yep.
goals. Like for Stank's first 2 goals.
Yep.
I think it was Sagan's like either second and third.
Yep.
Dallas, I think I would. You
know what? Actually,
Colorado 0 for
maybe
6.
like get the and you dream about depth scoring, so whatever. But maybe get the top guys going harder. Like
Yeah.
I'm not getting like
that was
Robo, go off, dude. You know,
Hintz and Robo, I think, could go God mode a little bit more. And what's interesting that we say that though, because all year like they didn't go God mode, right? Like I think Robo led that team with like 83 points or something like that.
Doing it.
But maybe now is the time. To, like if you can get those big boys to go God mode and steal wins, like you're getting out of this series quick.
Yep. Colorado.
I would stop tinkering.
Yeah.
Stop tinkering. I would put Val back on the top line.
But then maybe get more from the
Get Drouin in. I would consider maybe putting Parise and Ross back together. I think you're overthinking. Stop overthinking.
Okay. Boston.
We're getting into the nitty gritty here of like playoff adjustments versus like.
Yeah, no, what does that team? I think the question exactly was like, what could you add to that team?
Yeah, let's go more with that.
What is one thing you would change on each player team?
Yeah, but change. We can do both, combination of both. Boston, you need more stars.
You need more stars.
Simple as that.
You need more goal scorers.
I don't want to make excuses for Boston here, but it's been so impressive what this team has done with this roster, and then that's not to speak negatively about anyone on this Boston roster, but I do think it's funny when you look simply at the depth comparisons of Toronto versus Boston, and you're like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it with Florida. I mean, like, Tarasenko is an afterthought, it feels like, on this Panthers team. You know how valuable he would be on that Bruins team?
Oh, my God.
And especially now with Marchand missing for the last game, it's like people are going, who really needs to get going for this Boston team? And guys are going, Pavel Zacha. And I'm like, Pavel Zacha was traded 1-for-1 for Eric Holla and has been
great.
phenomenal for this Bruins team. But Pavel Zacha is a 60-point guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is who you're like, Zacha needs to step up to elite level? You're asking a lot of guys. Like, you need more stars.
Florida. Get a little more from Vlad, maybe?
You could definitely get more from Vlad.
Take a little more from Vlad.
I would say
Power play's been great. Goalie's been great.
Stop diving.
Yeah. Hey, stop flopping.
You're so good. Why are you guys flopping?
That's a great one.
Like, you're
Stop
such
flopping.
an insanely good team. Stop flopping. You don't need to do that.
Love that. Rangers. Not much either, dude.
Not
You're getting
much.
a ton of you're getting scoring up and down the lineup. Power play's been great. PK's been fantastic. Chesty's been really good. I would change.
I would say this isn't something you would like change about the team. Part of me wants to see them dominate more. Like
Yeah.
every game's been like
They've
weirdly
yep,
close.
Yep. But they've been great. Dude, I get nothing for the Rangers.
I really
bring
don't
Rempe back in. Bring Rempe back.
I won't agree with that, but I mean, I also say I don't have anything. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
There's nothing to fix.
Carolina, better goaltending, and that's not why they're losing, but they need better goaltending, and they need better power play.
Be mentally tougher, man. Like
mentally tougher.
you need to step the fuck up finally here. And I think a lot of that has to do with your mentality going into each game. Like be mentally tougher and go bully into a win.
Yeah, great questions.
Yep.
Now we're getting into our saucy predictions. Dan, load up that chicken while I say what our
right.
predictions were. I said that every series after 2 games would be 1-1. Dallas Avs 1-1. Bruins Panthers 1-1. Oilers Canucks 1-1. Rags Canes fucking 2-0 in OT. Should have had it.
Didn't get it.
Didn't get it, per usual.
Didn't get it.
Dan, you said that there would be a shutout between last week's record and this week's. Didn't get it.
And you know what, Chris? I think you have to eat an extra wing for laughing at me.
I did.
You were like,
I'm not eating extra wing, but I did laugh.
You were like, 1? And I was like, yeah, 1. And you laughed in my face.
I did.
So
that was stupid.
shame on you.
All right, so we're gonna eat these hot wings. We got chicken today.
Yep.
It's not crackers. And then you gotta do a big.
Do you have a prediction?
Yeah.
I don't yet, and I'm not really sure I want to toss this in my mouth.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So let me sauce up.
I'll eat and go, and then you can think.
But I don't want you to suffer while I'm thinking.
Well, this is the price I pay, dude.
Okay.
This is the price I pay. Don't eat yours yet.
I won't.
Let me find it. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah. What a fucking. You can tell when I'm feeling.
I've oversauced.
When I wrote this down. This is so dumb. So bad, dude.
I'm going to try to not lick my lips.
Yeah, that's what fucks me every time, dude. Don't touch anything.
Okay, I feel good.
You feel good. Enough chicken on that one that it helped a little bit.
I feel good.
My prediction is
Here it comes.
fucked. I can't believe I wrote this. I should literally change my prediction on the fly right now. Sauciest prediction we've ever done.
Wow.
Canes force game 7 and lose.
Wow. That is saucy. I'm starting to feel way worse. Okay. That's crazy saucy.
I know.
God damn it. It builds just so much. It builds.
All right, go, dude.
Avs. We'll find out about this quick. Are they playing tonight?
I don't know, dude. Okay.
Avs tie up the series and get a goal from Nate and Val.
Okay, you need them both.
Yeah, need them both.
Okay.
All right, those are our saucy predictions. Shit, this is getting way worse.
That's awful.
Those are our saucy predictions. That is it for us today at the Empty Nerds Podcast. Let's keep buzzing through round 2. Unbelievable stuff. And until next time,
Skate hard, baby.
woo.